Hello YouTube, this is Melodic with a condensed League of Legends game, mid lane Lee Sin. And I'm going in and I kill a minion after leashing my blue like a good mid does. And Syndra's not in the lane yet. I wasn't very excited about facing Syndra, but we eyeball each other. So jungler, or I rather, ping towards Syndra. I'm like, hey, let's kill her, because she's getting more farm than I am, and that's not appropriate. So she goes that way, the direction that she's running, and I wasn't very appreciative of that. And so I just go in and I ignite her because that was necessary. She really needed to die apparently. So I go up and I look up there, and Akali and Kayle are getting along very well. They're having some disagreements, and so I try to run up and kind of snipe Akali because I'm Lee Sin, the blind monk. And I sit in the bush, and I stay outside the bush looking for a vantage point, and she's not really giving me an opportunity to be all snipery. So I fat finger the Q, which was wonderful. Like, I'll go in anyway because Fiora probably is on her way, and so I go in, and lo and behold, Fiora was on her way, and so I'm between two people, almost dead, and Fiora dives at me after diving at Akali, and I get away. I could have died really easily, but I got away. And Fiora goes into the fog of war, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, well, I'm probably gonna die, but I didn't. It was all good. And so this next part, I'm sitting here killing minions again, and so is Syndra, and lo and behold, Diana's coming, and she goes towards her tower, and Diana flashes, and it wasn't very pretty. But now Fiora is also there. If you look on the map, Fiora is also there, and we're all like, don't know if should go in, and so it's kind of just a little tense. There's not a very large amount of happiness between the four of us at the moment. And so Diana decides to recall, and I decide to blow up Syndra. I did really quickly, and I get to level 6, and I get my big kick instead of just the slightly smaller kick. Not smaller by much, though. And I try to get back some health and stay in the mid lane and farm because my lane partner's dead. And oh look, it's Fiora. She comes after me, and I just got my ultimate, so I was like, okay, let's try it. And so I kill her with it, and I almost die. And that was pretty fun. So I'm going back to get my Brutalizer. Right there. Click it. There you go. So I miss my Q, and I do that a lot. I almost use it on cooldown, and I hit it only in important times like this. Pew! And we melt her. But her ultimate does a lot more damage than I was expecting. At this point, I am 4-1. So Fiora dies during her ultimate, which I didn't think was possible, and I thought that was worth mentioning. After she came in, that was directly after us killing her. So I'm back in the lane, and Syndra is farming again, which is unacceptable. She stuns me, and I'm just like, okay, but I noticed Fiora is there, and I got ulted. So I pop a potion, and I decided to try to recover it up. Just recover my health, which I didn't get very much of. And then I think Fiora was gone, but instead it is murder in my face. It wasn't a very good decision. And so I look at my ruby crystal, I'm like, you might have been able to save me. But alas, I was farming very poorly this game. But it's okay, because Diana has got me covered. Check it. She killed that gamer owl. And so Syndra's back here, and oh, she went that way. So I kick her. I kick her hard. And I ignite her, and I run away even though I'm at like full health. It's a bad decision on my part, and shocker, she's alive even though I ignited her. But look on the map, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh. I love that Ezreal. He was lagging all game, but it was worth it. It's wonderful. And then I even typed I love you. And then Fiora comes after me while I was typing. She used her ult on me because her ult is so good in Season 3. And she tries to kill me, but it doesn't work very well. Because, you know, it doesn't work very well. And so Ezreal's dead at bottom lane. And Zach is not having wonderful time against these two people, but they're both really low. And so Fiora tries to kind of, or Leona tries to dodge that, and so I just, you know, kill Misfortune instead. And then she's also really low, and she has a lot of crowd control, and I was gonna dive her. I decided to do it anyway, and ended up kicking her. I'm thinking she could have played that better, but I'm not sure. And so Syndra has issues with me again, and so I kick her in that direction. I'm out of key, so I hit something with my fist, which is so weird. And then I blow her up. And I flash away from the tower because I didn't want to die. That was pretty funny. And at this point, I had enough to get my last whisper, and I got my last whisper. And so Diana goes in on Syndra, who flashes away. And I'm just like, no! So we're just going to keep chasing, and Diana is really low on mana, but she doesn't seem to care. And like, vision, and then I kill her. Like this. And Diana, I guess Diana couldn't because she didn't have any mana. And so Leona, I see her starting to run away, and I'm like, oh, no you don't. And so I start chasing her. And Misfortune reveals herself, and I miss my Q like the worst Lee Sin in the world. Ezreal hits her with a Q, but doesn't do much, obviously. So I hit her with another one. And I come back out because it's Fiora and Misfortune. Misfortune almost dies, flashes away in barriers. Ezreal shoots her with the ult, and Leona just really, really wants me. So she uses her ultimate and exhaust and takes me out. But it's okay, because Zach and Ezreal got this crap. Like a lot. They got it a lot. So I get my ruby crystal. I love that thing. And so everyone's kind of just scattered everywhere. I noticed this lonely tower is lonely, and so I decided to give it some company with my foot. You know, my foot. And so I'm kicking it and just really want it to explode. And it just, I keep kicking it and I keep kicking it. And Fiora comes in, but I'm not really afraid of her with the tower that low. But then the Fed Misfortune comes in, and I'm like, okay, I can escape this way. Little did I know my teammates were on the other side. Again, map awareness. And I could have escaped with them, but I didn't, and it caused this havoc. The 3 most fed members on our team dying. So after that, shortly after, they are doing Dragon, and I'm like, okay, well, let's go steal that. And Diana goes in, and I go in, and I help kill Leona. Misfortune ults because she's annoying, and I should have gone for Misfortune after that because Fiora does no damage, but I flash over the wall in the hopes that Misfortune would not catch me. Get my black Cleaver, but Ezreal's running away, and Zach is saving his butt. She uses a barrier, but he uses a exhaust, so he's just gonna basically get out of there, and Syndra tries to go get him. I'm sure she had an ult up or something. And I'm kind of just looking at the score, and I noticed that Misfortune is ahead of me by 8 CS and 1 kill, and I just didn't think that was acceptable in the slightest. So they killed my collie, and I didn't really like that, so I just murdered Fiora, and I was gonna murder Syndra too, but she had to stun me, so I couldn't kick over the wall. But it's okay, because Zach and Ezreal took care of it. They're my home bros. So Leona's back in mid lane. And I fly at her. Or I don't fly at her. And I was like, well, there's 4 people now. So I go to Zach, the big squishy Zach. Leona uses her ult on me because I'm dangerous. And Akali's just sitting there. And she goes in on everything. And I noticed that Misfortune gets flown over the wall. And I was not too happy about that. You know, like, you know what? She fed. She has more kill. And so I end up kicking her, and she dies. But the rest of my team took care of it. It was pretty nice. And so we end up going, and I have 2,200 gold. And I was so excited because I was going to go back and get a frozen mallet, maybe like a something else tanky. But they surrendered. And I was sad because they surrendered. And then the Nexus killed me. This is my first experimental video. Like and subscribe. Tell me all about it. Tell me things I could do better, things I could do worse. Thank you so much for watching. You have a good rest of your day. Bye!